Hey everybody, it's July 2017 and I wanted to talk about some very important upcoming astrological events for next month in August. So right off the bat we have two eclipses, the first one being August 7th. This is a lunar eclipse that occurs when the moon is eclipsed at 15 degrees Aquarius. So if you have any planets at 15 degrees Aquarius in your birth chart, expect for whatever themes associated with that planet to be activated and to become very important in your life. 2 weeks after that, we have a total solar eclipse on August the 21st, occurring at 28 degrees Leo. And this is a very important one. I'll elaborate a little bit later. In addition to it being viewable across the entire continental United States, I feel like it will affect us all in other ways, whether you have that point in your chart or not. So next up, we have Mercury retrograde. Mercury goes retrograde on August the 12th at 11 degrees Virgo and continues retrograde through the end of the month until it goes direct on September the 4th at 28 degrees Leo. So what's the deal with 28 degrees Leo? That's two very important astrological events being tied to the same degree. Well, this degree was, this point, this fixed star, was very important to the original astrologers, the Persian astrologers, because it was the fixed star, the royal star, Regulus, also known as the heart of the lion. So the star Regulus has a lot to do with, the ruling class, power, success, the ability to lead, command, but also accidents. So it just so happens that the president of our country, Donald Trump, has the 29th degree of Leo as his ascendant. He also has Mars, which, is the traditional god of war, on the 26th degree of Leo. Technically in his 12th house, but, close enough to his ascendant to where it could also be his first house. And, he certainly expresses his identity in a martial type way. Being so obsessed with control and validation and ego. And also, exhibiting some cruelty and selfishness as well, and arrogance and hastiness. Anyway, so the fact that his Mars is being triggered twice, could very well lead to the outbreak of war. I don't want to be one of those people, but you could kind of tell the way he handles things that he takes things very personally, and Mars being so tied up with his ascendant, he wants to feel like he's in control, and anger can be a very personal thing for him. And you're talking about the President of the United States, who is in control of the world's greatest military. The military also being, of course, ruled by Mars. So, it could just be that he could take the high road of Mars and, react to this influence with, self-control and leadership. But, you kind of have to, look at reality and see how he's already responded to a lot of these situations. And, for him to take the high road seems kind of like a long shot. I hope it does. I certainly don't want to see us at war. But whether I like it or not, this Mars aspect in the life of the President of the United States will be activated next month. So Mars rules the sign Aries, and Aries in Donald Trump's birth chart is on the 9th house cusp. So the 9th house cusp has to do with foreign relations. So we can see, this intense anger and, this egoic drive, competitiveness, have its effect on the 9th house and its foreign relations. In addition to that, this 28th degree of Leo point will be in aspect to a retrograde Uranus, which Uranus is going to go retrograde August the 3rd or 4th. So, Uranus rules technology. So, you could read that as like foreign technology, making it easy for him to go to war. And what do you have in the media, for the last 6 months or so is, all these Russia allegations and it's just one scandal after the other. Which brings us to Mercury aspecting this degree of 28 degrees Leo. So anytime you have Mercury retrograde, your communication is strained. And you could be like, well, is President Trump in permanent Mercury retrograde? Because, his tweets are just like all over the place, and, so, it's important to really, really, really think before you say anything, because the consequences can be pretty disastrous under retrograde Mercury. Mercury being communication also has an affinity for the media. And, I'm not making any groundbreaking, stop the presses statements here, but, just look at the media and, kind of, they've just been systematically tearing him down piece by piece. So it looks like that might finally get to him. The thing with eclipses are we can generally feel the effects up to 6 months before the eclipse, and even 6 months after the eclipse. So, if you want to look 6 months prior to this total solar eclipse, you're pretty close to the end of January when President Trump was inaugurated. Technically that's 7 months, but it's just kind of been a shit show really ever since he's been in office with the media. So you might finally see, some action, a decision, maybe even aggression towards the media. So, I realize that this is pretty grim, and I don't want to be that guy. Doomsayer and this and that, but in my experience, anytime that there's an eclipse that plugs into your chart, the planet that is at that degree will be activated. And the question is, how will President Trump express his Mars? Will he do it by, being decisive and taking action and being a leader and being independent? Or, will he let it affect his insecurities and drive us to war? So that's the big question this month, and I hope at this time next month we are not at war. Absolutely hope that we are not at war. But Mars being triggered in your chart, he's going to be very angry and take something very personally. And let's hope he doesn't retaliate with the force of the United States military. Anyway, if you have never had your chart done professionally and you don't know if you have any planets at 15 degrees Aquarius, 11 degrees Virgo, or 28 degrees Leo, I'm available for readings, and I'd be happy to do your chart for you. You can contact me through here. And if you're in the Dallas, Texas area, I have a meetup called Healing Energetic Astrology, same title as this YouTube. So if you're in the area, feel free to come join us. I have classes from everything about astrology to healing modalities, and then we have meetups every now and then that are free, just to kind of get together and talk and have a community, and for me to answer any questions that you might have. So thanks for watching my video. Please like it and subscribe, and thank you very much.